What is something people brag about that signals a red flag? I had a coworker tell me that she drives great drunk. How easily they can manipulate people, or how good they are at lying. Most people I've come across that boast about being good people are actually massive pieces of shit. How overprotective their partner is never ends well. I worked with a guy who bragged about being in prison for most of his life, and somehow everyone was stupid to him. I don't know if this makes sense, but when someone tries to one-up your struggles, it's not only annoying but a huge red flag. If I said I didn't get a lot of sleep, they would be like, "Oh, that's crazy. I got 5 seconds of sleep while I was being dangled over a fireproof alligator pit filled with lava from a fishing line." It just shows that they will literally never be there for you and make every conversation about themselves. When their entire lives revolve around banging money, any actual rich person will usually rather try to be more low-key to avoid people using them. Guys claiming they are alpha. Story toppers edit: "Thank you, kind person, for the gold." Working too much. It's not a bad thing, but for me it's a red flag, in any relationship. I don't live for the hustle and PPL who think it's impressive they work 60-70 hours a week because they have important work to do, are free to do as they please but get a big aisle pass, especially if it's on a date. I used to work 60-70 hours a week and there's nothing to brag about. It's like Stockholm Syndrome for a job. When people brag about their body count, YTF would I care how many people you have had sex with? I'm just blunt and tell it like it is. Translates to I'm just an abrasive asshole who finds every opportunity to bring people down. How many hours they work. They speak of it as if people who work only 40 hours a week are lazy or inferior. Overworking. Bragging about getting into winning physical fights. Tell me more about how you beat some dude to a pulp. Not psycho at all. All my exes are crazy. I was at a party and asked my friend who that guy over there was, and he was like, "So and so from New York." And I said, "Oh God, they always brag about where they live, their income, and their occupation." In the first sentence this guy says all three and we start busting up laughing. What a stooge. I'm surprised nobody mentioned it yet, how much alcohol they can handle. Alcoholics love bragging about how they can outdrink people. If you meet someone that brags about never having hangovers and outdrinking everyone, run, woozy face. I used to work with a guy that could always get you a better deal no matter what it was. I got a mobile upgrade to brand new phone, free, half price line rental, etc. Said I could have got you that with a quarter price line rental, and another handset as well. Being a kendo master and the founder of a dojo, fighting with flaming swords in a tournament on the Great Wall of China, having cybernetic implants which enhance sword fighting abilities. Being cut from a different cloth, or built different. My brother regularly brags about how well he insults people, including family and employers. Related fact: he's unemployed. Being an asshole or bitch and or brutally honest. They always like the brutality most. Stories about how cleverly they manipulated someone while using petty, selfish justifications. How hard they partied and or how popular they were in high school in their late 20s 30s and drunk. IQ. Being honest when they really mean being mean. People who heavily gossip to you about other people. When you're not around, they are gossiping about you. Their wealth. How much money they make. Women who brag saying they aren't a slut like other girls or a pick-me girl. But they are in fact 100 a pick-me girl. And the male version: nice guys and body count aficionados. Trust fund babies who say that their success is due to their hard work or hustling. How religious they are. They may be subtle about it by leaving Bible passages on their social media or tagging their bios with things like, "All glory to God." Anyone who oversignals is a poser. Truly religious people are private and contemplative with their beliefs. I'm not like others. How smart they are. Smart people don't talk about being smarter than everyone. It's related to the Dunning-Kruger effect. People who don't know much about a topic overestimate their knowledge because of their limited view on the topic, while an expert on the topic who is really educated on it can overview its complexity and therefore knows that there is still much to further learn about. Reddit karma. The mountain of corpses in their cellar. This might be a hot take, but whoever is reading ability to drink large amounts of alcohol is not impressive. Then again, the list of things I do find impressive is practically non-existent. Their political affiliation. The fact that they have to brag can be a red flag by itself. People who brag about never reading books. Their special relationship with God. How honest they are. It really means that they are horrible to people but think that's acceptable because what you see is what you get. Being a good guy. How righteous, pure, benevolent they are. People who call themselves good aren't actually good. How often they go to church. Being religious is fine. But people who brag about how religious they are usually turn out to be self-righteous Karens. How much they volunteer, donate to charity. It's great to do those things, but bragging about it shows that you do it for the praise, not to do good. How popular they are. I'm really antisocial and introverted, So this one's a bit personal. My red flags are the reddest flags you've ever seen. They're fraternity or sorority. About how they lied to that one person really well. How they threatened staff members to get their way. Being a God-loving Christian. Being an alpha male. Being high IQ. Their lack of sleep. It's a red flag for how insufferable they are. A high number of sexual partners. How many physical fights they've been in. And they're not a professional fighter. How expensive their car or clothes are. When someone brags that they have power over other people or enjoy being in positions of power. Every woman I've met who has called herself classy has been a piece of shit. How much they offend people. Hi, I'm Steven Seagal. Anyone that feels compelled to tell you they're a nice guy is more than likely anything but. Kind people do not feel compelled to have other people believe they're kind. A nice guy expects a reward for not being a terrible human being, and will sink to those levels if he feels slighted. Men who take pride in their woman doing everything domestic. Aside from the misogyny, there's nothing manly about not being able to clean your own underwear. Their faith. If they're bragging about how devout or favored they are, huge red flag. How much chili they can handle, woman face bombing, being in the Midwest South bragging about their truck. It's usually some old posse that can barely function but goes vroom loud. Not that expensive cars are impressive either. I'm not a vehicle person at all. Slaps hood this baby can go vroom on road. When they mention their toxic trait and turn the worst thing about them into something positive. E.g. my toxic trait is I always help people when they don't help me. A man who bragged he was a feminist ended up being the worst man I ever met. Last year before the holidays I had just finished a 1-minute speech about how I was eating ramen for dinner with my boyfriend most nights, and if someone wanted to split an appetizer with me I would appreciate it. I was low on cash and was trying to save every penny that year to pay off credit card debt. Friend A understood completely and split a salad with me. Friend B started her response with, well, when my grandparents sell their house, they will give me the profit to split with my brother and then I can buy my condo. I can't wait. The next day, Friend A surprised me with homemade egg rolls and wished me a happy holidays. Friend B is now no longer my friend for different reasons, but Friend A and I always reminisce about that uncomfortable dinner with her bragging about their job, how important they are, and how much money they make. It shows that they either only value power and status or feel very insecure about it. Those that are keeping up with the Jones. If you feel you need to look like you are wealthy and constantly need new things, then you'll never be happy with your life. Bragging about hitting their kids. Like it's some type of badge of honor to discipline the old school way. Admitting to abuse just because your kids are older now is as disgusting as telling me you currently beat them. Being competitive. You probably have no chill and are a sore loser. Whenever any says I'm a Christian, I know I'm in for some Karen-level behavior. How mentally ill or suicidal they are. They're unvaccinated children. Number of sex partners. Body count. Recently I've noticed that people who often are the loudest about social issues tend to be awful people in some other ways. That's a bit of a red flag for me now.
I hope you all are doing well, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video. If you have something to say critically or otherwise, leave a comment. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to see more of it. I hope you all have wonderful and fulfilled lives.